world returned in fragments. Glass shimmered against dying sunlight. A dull throb pulsed through her skull, her breath shallow, her body slumped awkwardly inside the driver's seat of a car that had somehow veered off the road. Her eyes opened, slowly, hesitantly, greeted not by pain, but by a lingering pull. A whispering void, cold and invisible, wrapped around her soul like a noose. The memory of a nightmare still clung to her, a face too calm to be human, too ancient to be new. A cosmic being with eyes like dying stars, the devil or something older, offering gifts to mankind in exchange for something unspeakable. Gold, power, eternal youth. Most begged for what they thought they lacked, but one man, one young man, refused. Not out of pride, but defiance. He alone saw the deception. So the devil cursed him, to possess all of mankind's desires and also the gifts of the unseen, the cursed legacy of spirits. She gasped, her chest rose, her name gone, her past erased. Panic bloomed like wildfire. She scrambled upright. The windshield was unbroken, the car untouched, no dents, no blood, no sign of impact. Was there even an accident? She thought. Cars roared past on the nearby highway, none stopping, none slowing. It was as if she didn't exist. She looked around. Fields, shadows, silence. A burning sunset washed the sky in bruised crimson. "I need to get out of here," she whispered. She slid back into the driver's seat. The fuel gauge blinked red, nearly empty. "Shit, I can't go far." A battered road sign pointed ahead. Darkwood Mansion, 6 miles. She hesitated, then opened the trunk. Maybe a clue, maybe something to remember herself by. Instead, she found an old typewriter. Strange, heavy, the keys worn and yellowed with age. A single phrase was etched on a strip of curled paper inside. Morpheus wake. Chills, a name, a warning, a dream. No time to question it. She started the engine. The car groaned but moved. The road narrowed as she climbed a forgotten lane. Ancient trees hanging like skeletal arms above her. Deep grooves scarred the path, carriage wheels maybe, but far too old for any modern vehicle. Then she saw it. Darkwood Mansion. Tall iron gates loomed, rusted and yawning. The air hung heavy, thick with moss and cold. The sky, once aflame, had gone slate gray. Somewhere, far off, metal wood, the sound of branches being cut. She stepped out and followed the noise. An old man stood with a saw, his body long and slender like a shadow stretched too thin. His back was impossibly straight, face as lined as tree bark, hands white as marble. "Good day, sir," she called out. I've lost my way. I think I had a car accident. May I find some refuge just for the night?" The man paused, blinking slowly. "Accident?" he asked. His voice was dry as parchment. "Yes, a car accident. At least, I think. I'm confused. I can't remember who I am." He tilted his head. "The owner is not here." "Please," she said, breath catching. "I have nowhere to go. I think I hit my head. I don't even know my name." A long silence. Then, "You may stay in the winter garden until the owner returns." Relief flushed her face. Thank you so much." The winter garden was a cold, forgotten relic of a brighter past. Vines crawled like veins along the cracked glass roof. The plants were long dead, gray, withered, brittle. The old man led her inside. The air was cold, but oddly clean. "Here," he said. "You may stay. I'll bring you blankets." She nodded, too tired to speak. Something was off about him. Not evil, just hollow. As rain began tapping gently against the glass overhead, he returned with thick wool blankets. He laid them out like a nest on the stone floor. Before leaving, he turned once more. "Are you hungry?" The question hit her like thunder. She hadn't thought of food, but now that he asked, her stomach twisted in agony. He didn't wait for an answer. Moments later, he returned with a steaming plate. Fried eggs, cheese, grapes, simple, warm, alive. She devoured it like a child discovering taste for the first time. "Bon appetit," he said without smiling, and then the sound of hooves. She froze. Outside the iron gates, headlights flickered. A black antique carriage rolled through, drawn by massive black horses. The wind howled behind it as if announcing something sacred or cursed. She crept toward the glass and pressed her fingers against it, peering through the fog. The owner had returned. "The master is here," the old gardener said abruptly. His eyes widened, almost fearful. "Please excuse me, madam." Without another word, he turned and hurried through the winter garden's rusted door, the rain softly thudding against the glass above. She moved to the window, her heart stuttering in her chest as she watched him kneel before the black carriage. The door of the carriage creaked open. Out stepped a tall, elegant figure cloaked in black, ageless, sharp, and unnervingly still. The rain didn't touch him. Even from a distance, she could see the weight of his presence press on the world around him, like reality itself held its breath. "I hope he lets me stay," she whispered to herself. "Otherwise, I have no idea where I'll go. I need time. Just enough time for the shock to pass, to remember who I am." The two men exchanged quiet words. Then the gardener returned, face unreadable, hands behind his back. "You may stay," he said simply. "My master grants you refuge, for as long as you need," her chest unclenched with relief. "Oh, thank you so much." But the moment hung too long in silence. The gardener narrowed his eyes. "When was the car accident?" he asked. The question cut sharper than it should have. The air seemed colder now. "When?" she echoed, frowning. I suppose just before I arrived. Not long ago. Why?" His gaze lingered a heartbeat too long. "Just asking, madam. Thank you for your answer." He turned slowly toward a corner of the room. "There is an old stove here. I will fetch some wood to light it. It will keep the cold away." As he walked off, she wrapped the blanket tighter around herself. Why did that question unsettle me so much? Her head throbbed, her heart ached, her thoughts scattered like broken glass. "I need some air," she murmured. She called out, "Sir, may I go for a walk?" The gardener paused, turning his pale face back toward her. "Now it's dark and the rain has started again." "Yes, I need to," she insists. "Just until the fire is ready." He hesitated, then nodded once. "As you wish, miss, but do not stray too far." She stepped into the night. The rain was soft, like tears falling from the sky. The forest around the mansion stretched in all directions, gloomy, breathing, alive. The earth was wet beneath her boots. Trees lined the path like forgotten statues. She didn't know where she was going, but something inside her, a pull, a memory perhaps, guided her steps. Let it come, she thought. Let the memories flow. Raindrops rolled down her cheeks. The further she walked, the quieter the world became. The mansion's warm light faded behind her. Ahead, the path wound through an old grove where strange markings were carved into tree trunks. The rain fell harder now. She wandered deeper into the mansion's sprawling garden, if it could still be called that. The trees grew close and wild, twisting like the fingers of something long dead. The world was dark, the ground slick beneath her feet. Then, a shape. A gazebo emerged through the veil of water and mist, hidden beneath climbing ivy and broken stone. She rushed toward it, breath clouding in the air, and slipped inside. The old ironwork creaked as she leaned against it, wrapping her arms around herself for warmth. She sat there, silent, still. The cold didn't seem to come from the rain anymore, but from within her. She hid from the rain and sit there hugging herself with her hands, trying to save herself from the cold weather. Then she was just sitting there with no more movements. Then something flickered. "Wait, here we go. I remember." Her voice broke through the silence like a spark in a cave. "I remember something. Someone was telling me a story, a tale. Someone important, someone I loved, someone who loved me." She closed her eyes. The sound of the rain became a rhythm, a drum, a pulse. I remember the tale chrysalis clear. The tale of the man who lost himself in the forest. It came back like thunder,